What's really good, DGBA? It's your boy JJ Bizzle coming at you, coach of the Peoria Pidgeots. We doing a little nice little chill vibe here on a clean Tuesday night for me. Yeah, so we're gonna bring you. Oh yeah, if you hear any noise in the background, it's my dog. He's eating dinner. My boy's hungry, so he got to eat. But anyway, yeah, so we're coming at you with a recap of the D1 and D2 seasons here. We're going to be nice and quick. Well, I don't know about quick because I like to ramble. But we're going to do a recap of the D2 and then the D1. We're also going to do a playoff outlook on each of the playoffs, obviously, that are starting this week, and kind of my thoughts on each game individually. So we're going to roll right along with the D2 recap of the season. This league was very interesting. I think there was a lot of coaching changes during kind of the year, but this league did not have too much parity. You can kind of see the differentials are kind of just all over the place. Obviously the middle of the pack, when you only have a 10-week season, the middle, obviously you guys can see from the 8th spot, to the 10th spot there's a typo in there. That team's supposed to be tied for 11th. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But the 8th spot to the 10th spot is a little hectic. That's how you get when you have only 10 weeks. But regardless, Coach Black and the Nido Kings really running away. Kind of with the differential and only having one loss. I don't remember who that loss was to. Spotty watching the D2. But very interesting to see the lack of parity, in my opinion, between these coaches, just with these crazy differentials. I know Black's got a very good team, so I think it's going to be tough to beat. But yeah, we're going to get more into that when we get to the playoff matchups here in a second. But yeah, I think that's kind of just the staple of the season for D2 is just, the top teams are the top teams for a reason. Besides in that 8 range, it was a little closer, but a little more. But it kind of just shows you how differential matters, when you have the same record as, the Spinda and the Nuggets have, but it's all about that differential, the Nuggets being +4. So you can see the Spinda in their losses, really took some beatings. It's the same with the, God, these names, the Venus Sarajevo. Really taking heavy losses in their losses, really getting, maybe a couple 4-0s, some 5-0s in there. And those games really matter. You really have to take, especially in a 10-week season, it's so short, taking those losses and turning them into 2-0s, even if it's a loss, turning a loss into a 2, never getting on tilt, turning those losses into a 2-0 really matters instead of, a 5-0 with that, where that 3 differential is going to come into play. I think we see more of that differential come into play in the D1, because that D1 was a cluster bleep, if I do say so. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the playoff outlook on this next slide here. So the playoff matches, and it's just your basic, one plays the lowest seed, 2 play, blah blah blah. I should have 2 and 3 flipped, but oh well, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, the Nido Kings take on the Nuggets. The Azumarill take on the Dunsparcenal. Your guys' names are ridiculous, man. Why can't we just be like the Venice Shaman and the Boston Red Sky? It'd be super simple. Yeah, Venice Shaman versus the Boston Red Sky, and the Dublin Dunsparce versus the OKC, Oklahoma City. I just abbreviated it because I do watch basketball. I like my OKC Thunder, but the OKC Electivire. So yeah, we're gonna roll right into the first matchup, and we got Coach Black and the Nido Kings versus. Now, see, you guys need to bear with me. I didn't watch enough of the D2 as I should have. Oh yeah, Luke's the Nuggets. Yeah, facing off against Luke, in the Denver Big Nugs, and okay, you can kind of see I have 2 points on the screen for each team, and I think these are just my keys to the game kind of thing. I'm just gonna be short and sweet with it. But you see, we have the No Kings rocking Tapu Koko, Mega King, Keldeo, Gliscor, Roserade, Lottie. Or Latias, I should say. There's 2 Lotties. Comfey, Bronzong, Moltres, Scrafty, Dusclops. And then on the other side, we have Celesteela, Megalade, Hydreigon, Florges, Snorlax, Necrozma, Rotom Heat, Quillfish, Cryogonal. Cryogonal. Anyway, Rhydon, Simisage, and Rufflet. So for the Denver Nuggets, this obviously being the 8th seed, and facing, the coach who's only lost 1 game, and the Nido Kings with such a great differential, he's got to do some things well. So looking at the matchup in general, Florges is one of his. Just looking at the lack of physical attackers on besides Mega Kangaskhan. So Mega Kangaskhan and Gliscor are really your physical attackers. I know you can run some like cross poison shenanigans or something, and Kangaskhan obviously can pop off at any time. But yeah, I think Florges is an extremely important special wall. I mean, obviously he has Resurrade, but having a Celesteela as well. So Celesteela Florges core is going to be super important in this game. Checking Florges' matchups with that Celesteela and vice versa. I think the Denver Big Nuggets got a decent matchup here. I think they can do some things. But in order to win this game, on offense for the Nuggets, I think predicting well with Mega Glade and taking out some threats and some certain walls that try to come in on Mega Glade. Maybe predicting Latias to come in and ice punching, or predicting Comfey to come in, or Braun. Whatever the case, it doesn't matter. Whatever the case may be, making good predictions with Mega Glade, I think, can win him this game. Just looking at the matchup, because it's tough. The Nido Kings probably have one of the best teams that I've seen drafted. It's pretty intense. It's pretty good. Coco Kang is an insane core attacking wise. So I really like this matchup. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm actually very excited to watch all of these. But yeah, and then on the Nido King side, obviously deal with Florges I think is number one. Just looking at the other side, it's tough to knock down Florges for him. Maybe Psyshock Lottie. Roserade obviously. Get a weird gyro ball bronze iron, or I don't even know what special moves bronze iron learns on the. I don't know. Don't think he learns iron. Does he learn Iron Head? I'm gonna learn. I know he obviously gets Flash Cannon. It probably doesn't even do enough, honestly, because Florges is the fattest of fat. It does get Iron Head. Yeah, choice. Okay, I already saw it. Choice Band. Bronzong coming with that strong Iron Head. But no, he's gonna have a tough time. I was looking at it too, and I was thinking, Scrafty Poison Jab. But barring him not letting Scrafty set up, Florges can obviously just kill it with a Moonblast. So it's a very interesting setup in this matchup. And yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but regardless of that, he needs to preserve Tapu Koko. If you look at the defensive side for the Nuggets or even offense, I mean, Koko just does a lot of work. Besides barring like right on, like it can switch around on his team, U-turn out, those things. It can Dazzling Gleam, Hydreigon, even Mega Glade, obviously Thunderbolt, Celesteela, Quillfish, those guys. But we'll see what Rhydon does. Rhydon's an actually interesting play, even though there's a Keldeo and a Roserade on the other side. So we will see. But actually, guys, I will be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My dog decided a shoe was a great shoe toy. All right, so we're gonna move on. But yeah, that's that. That's the first game. We're gonna move on to the second one because I'm trying to be decently quick with this. We had the Venom Shaman and the Boston Red Sky. We have Mega Lopunny, Jirachi, Zapdos, Arcanine, Gudra, Crocodile, Komala, Rotom Mow, Mimikyu, and Lycanroc versus Genesect, Rotom Wash, Shaman Sky, Mega Diancie, Hippowdon, Komodo, Incineroar, Meloetta, Mismagius, Drapion, and Drillbur. Looking at this game from the Boston Red Sky, kind of got a tough matchup. Just the speed tier with Genesect is a little difficult in this match, especially with some of the offense. Mega Lopunny's obviously a problem, but I think he has two very important advantages. I think Mismagius can put in a lot of work this game, just as obviously as an attacker and as a setup like a nasty plot thing like that. It's tough, obviously, re-looking at it, but I think his low tier mons need to show out. Incineroar, those guys need to show out in order to get the upper hand in this game. But obviously, I think the biggest attacker for him is Mega Diancie. Mega Diancie can punch some holes in this team, and he's going to need to punch holes early and often to keep the pressure off of his team. Taking out Zapdos is very important. With Diamond Storms, obviously Megalopony doesn't appreciate a Moonblast. Jirachi, Earth Power, Earth Power from Arcanine, Moonblasting Goodra, Moonblasting Crocodile. There's not a lot of good switch-ins to Deancey, or I don't think. Well, I mean, there usually isn't anyway, but especially this matchup, I think Deancey's super important. And then my last point is just, Hippo is going to be a very, very important wall for things like Zapdos, for things like Megalopony, for things like Crocodile. So keeping Hippo healthy, using him to wear down, possibly Toxic. Obviously Rocks is fun, but he's got to keep Hippo alive. And he's got to have Hippo doing good things in this matchup, or he's going to get, I think, blown back pretty quick. Just with that Lopunny pressure, because Lopunny kind of just clicks moves. Well, the only reason I think that is because things like Shaman Sky have trouble. Goodra's there, Zapdos is there, even Arcanine to an extent. I know it gets Earth Power, but I think Goodra and Zapdos are kind of Shaman Sky deterrents. So, but yeah, and on the other side, I kind of touched for the Boston Reds guy, Shaman needs to keep his DNC checks, healthy and in check. Maybe Spadef Farachi can live, some Earth Power Shuka, whether, I don't know if you want to run Shuka there, or just even Spadef with lefties. Because I think an Iron Head probably just, even if it's not invested, it probably takes care of business. But yeah, just keep your DNC checks alive. That's very important. And that's another thing Boston Red guys should take advantage of, say a Spadef Jirachi getting in and not, maybe Incineroar comes in and can do some things, sub up or something like that. And then my second point was Zapdos. I really like Zapdos offensively in this game. Heat Wave for Genesect. Just Thunderbolting around, Volt Switching around. The only problem is Hippo. Maybe just, run Toxic for Hippo. It's a very, very interesting game. And even, I don't sleep on Como over there either. Como is very interesting. I know he's got Intimidate Croak. He's got a Mimikyu, which, Mimikyu's a thing. I always forget that Mimikyu's a Pokemon, and then, it comes, and it has a free sub, and I'm like, this Mimikyu kind of stinks. So, but yeah, that's that matchup. I should probably give my predictions on these games. I think I got the Los Angeles Nido-Kings winning the first one. I think Tapu Koko is just going to be too strong, and I think Kangaskhan's going to be able to break Florges. And in the second game, this one's a little more interesting. Let's go with the Venice Shaman. I'm going to go with the two favorites right off the bat. I think Lopunny's too strong in this game. It's going to be very interesting, though. I think both these matches I think these matchups so far have been very good, very interesting, to say the least. So we're going to move on to the third one. We had the Armarillo Azumarill. Lord knows, everybody knows I can't talk here, so we'll see. Well, I can't pronunciate, let's put it that way. And then we got the Dunsparcenal. What is that, Federation Cup? Is that a thing? Is that what that is? That FC stands for Federation Company Cup? Whatever. Soccer. Who cares? But anyway, so we have Mega Mawile, Latios, Mamoswine. I love that top three. That's just so much fun. Shaman, Araquanid, Porygon, Thundurus Therian, Aerodactyl, Hitmontop, Spiritomb, and Pyroar. Facing off against Protean Gren, Zeraora, Garchomp, Deoxys Defense, Scolipede, Empoleon, Licky Licky, Whimsicott. Whimsicott looks so stupid with just the T down there. Kadabra and Mega Aerodactyl. So yeah, we are looking at this matchup. For the Dunsparcenal, I think which this is very hard anyway, but he just can't let Mega Mawile in. If Mega Mawile comes in, I don't see a Pokemon on his side that just hey, I'm going to switch right into this thing. I don't know exactly how much Deoxys Defense takes from just a stab play rough. I can look real quick. But I promise, even max defense, it doesn't enjoy that play rough. And depending on, the set that he brings, obviously you're going to bring a Seismic Toss in order to break a sub. But yeah, I don't think, that's all it's going to do is be able to Seismic Toss and maybe stall out. But you don't want to give Mega Mawile an SD, and right, I don't know. Obviously he can taunt, but you can't take two, in my opinion. I don't think you can take two. I don't know yet. I'm calcing right now. I'm running the calcs right now. But I don't think he can take two play roughs in order to get a taunt off and then recover. Obviously he's faster, so we'll see. But I don't think that's a thing. Let's see here. Yeah, player does. Well, it all depends on the set. That's bold. Let's go 252s just to go worst case scenario. So it still does around 50. Mawile is a freaking monster. Yeah, so just looking at that, Adamant Mawile can still break Deoxys defense. So you got to limit those switch-ins. And he has the speed and the revenge. And that's kind of my next point. He has the speed and the revenge to make up for that. And to kind of... obviously, he has, what, is that 3 things that... Well, okay, there's an Aerodactyl and a Thundurus on the other side. And a Lottie. But, he has Mega Aerodactyl. That's the fastest thing on the field. Well, Zeraora, I don't know those speed tiers. I think Aerodactyl's faster. But yeah, Zeraora is so fast. It's a very interesting matchup. I think Zeraora is huge in this game as well. Being able to kind of pivot around. I know Thundurus is there, bring HP Ice for that. But he can close combat the Mamo. Do a lot of things. Zeraora is so much fun in this matchup. But yeah, so, and then on the, I kind of, touched on it a little bit over here. On the Azumarill side, but I love like a Scarf Latios late. Scarf Latios I think is really good in this game. Just in that late game, dropping Dracos or just Dragon Pulses in general, just to kind of clean up a little bit. As long as Deoxys defense is out of the way, of course. What does he have? Napoleon, and Napoleon doesn't, get recovery, so well, rest, but whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, and then my other point's just, Mawile equals by Deoxys. Deoxys just gets blown back even by Mawile. So I think I'm gonna take the Azumarills here. I just love the Mawile matchup. I think it's actually. So I think this game is gonna play out like this. If the Azumarills, I think it's gonna be from the jump. I think it's gonna be from turn 1. If the Azumarills can apply pressure turn 1, or if the Dunsparce can apply pressure turn 1, I think that's going to be huge. The turn 1 is actually, sometimes turn 1 is just like, oh, you go into your Mondeck and U-turn, blah, 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 so you can make adjustments. But, like, in this matchup, if you lead with the wrong thing and he leads Mega Mawile and you lead, I don't know. Like, even, I guess like a Spexgren could put in the finest there. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't lead Mawile, obviously, but unless you expect Deoxys for some reason. Yeah, just, if you lead Mamoswine, with a Sash, and then Zeraora's there, and you can just predict Deoxys switch in, you Toxic it, or a lot of things. I think the lead's huge here, just the momentum. Momentum is going to be everything in this matchup, everything in this game, just entirely. But I think the Azumarills can and will control the tempo, just with getting Mawile in safely. And being able to just play rough everything. And it's going to... Well, actually, see, I say that, but looking at how hyper offense that... Well, obviously it's going to be when Deoxys is in. So if he can tech Deoxys in order to handle Mega Mawile, I know Deoxys gets some interesting coverage. Obviously, that's a weird thing to say, that Deoxys should be, like, attacking... But, like, if he can get his Deoxys to somehow tech around, yeah, he gets, like, nice and Meteor Mash. Regardless of what it is, Stomping Tantrum, yeah, I don't care what it is. But, even, like, a T-Wave is huge. So, like, if he can tech around the Mawile coming in with Deoxys, I think that's going to be huge for this game. But I've talked enough about that. We're going to move on to the last and final game. The number 5, Dublin Dunsparce versus... Wait, did I not change this? I did not change it. Uh-oh, we're going to do some live editing. So I accidentally... So this stuff is wrong on Fort. Because I'm just gonna delete the box in general. What was I gonna say? So I accidentally I didn't change that one box. Okay, it's just the one that's messed up. But yeah, so I accidentally put this, like, I got confused with the Dublin Dunsparce and the Dunsparcenal. Like I just kind of saw Dunsparce, so I was like, oh, I copied and pasted the team, and then I made my notes, and it was the wrong matchup, so I had to go back and change it. But I forgot to change the notes, so I'll just throw in my words. You don't really got to see it. But yeah, we have Tapu Lele, Skarmory, Infernape, Mega Blastoise, Jolteon, Nihilego, Palossand, Serena, Umbreon, Drampa, and Tauros verse. Kieran Black, Clefable, Manaphy, Excadrill. I love Manaphy, Excadrill. Gothitelle, Galvantula, Gligar, He has such a cool team with Kiram and Clefable and Manaphy and Drill, Galvantula. Then he has Deciduous, and Mega Pinsir. I love that offensive core. Like that offense is nasty. But anyway, but yeah, so what I have for the OKC Evire is you got to find a way to break Skarm. This is actually a very tough matchup. Outside of Galvantula and some fusion bolts from Kieran Black that I think Skarmory might be able to take a little bit. Galvantula is going to be huge. Let's see, Galvantula has issues with Jolteon. Well, not really issues, but like, it's got to watch what it clicks. And Palisand, I think Palisand comes in this game just to handle and cover Skarm, but Skarm defensively is just fantastic. I think it could run a little bit of offense this game too. Just seeing Clefable and Kieran Black, just run an Iron Head tech in there, to put out some damage. But yeah, looking at the matchup, I do see that he does have trouble breaking Skarm, so he will need that Galvantula alive, or Kieran Black. Figure out. I mean, Kieran Black's not a Z, is it? I mean, obviously he might be able to nuke it with Manaphy, especially if it's a defensive Skarm to cover the Kieran Black, or nuke it with a Clefable for like Fire Blast or something like that. Very interesting though. But Tapu Lele does have some fun in this game against his team, so he needs to watch out for that Tapu Lele. And obviously his priority with his Mega Pinsir is kind of nerfed with Lele, and obviously it's Z Lele as well. So Z Lele can say he brings like Spadef Excadrill in order to deal with Lele. Fighting Z is just gonna nuke it, and then where are we at now? Your switch-ins are not that good to Lele, so you got to figure out a way to deal with Lele in this game. Whether it's like a nasty Gothitelle set, that can trap him, and toxic, maybe like full Spadef with what's that move that knocks down special attack. Oh, my mouse has been on the screen. How unprofessional am I? What's that move that knocks down special attack? Confide? Is it Confide? Is that? Yeah. Run nice and Confide Gothitelle to kind of lower that special attack, rest up, toxic up, or do whatever to whittle that thing down, have it struggle to death, whatever the case may be. You got to figure out how to deal with Lele. If we deal with Lele, I think you have a very not easy game, because there is still a Nihilego, and I don't count out anything when there's a Nihilego on the other side, just with its nasty coverage. So they definitely need to look into that in that matchup. But yeah, so we're gonna move on. Actually, that is the last match. I think I got the. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Electivire here. So I think that went with 1, 2, 3, 4, which is fine. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Electivire here. I think he finds a way with Clefable to break Skarm and deal with Lele. Yeah, I like the matchup. It should be fine. But I will be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. My girlfriend had to get food. But anyway, so we're going to move on to the D1 recap here. So I think this is a very, look at this playoff picture. Very interesting. From 6, well, actually from 5, because even me, coach of Peoria Pidgeots, got, I wasn't even sure if I was going to get in. I knew I wanted to win the last game anyway, to secure a higher seed, even though I got the stupid matchup with Haz, but whatever. And but yeah, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, so looking at the playoff picture, the West Coast Weaviles dominated the high jump kicks, and I think the top 3 teams had I mean, I don't count Haz as he's an unteam. His team's garbage. No, I'm just kidding. It's good, but it's interesting. An interesting team, to say the least. He prepped very well this season. But yeah, very interesting. So I think the top 2 coaches are if I'm trying to recall here. Some of the new coaches. Yeah, TCM is the West Coast Weaviles, and the high jump kicks, is that JJ? No, that's not JJ, is it? It's the high jump kicks. Stibe, that's right. Duh. Yeah, so 2 new coaches, moving up into D1, balling out, really drafting well, and getting those top 2 seeds, really nice. Jack, obviously, the LeBron LeBron James of the the DGBA. You know, having 3 titles, he's always there. I mean, I haven't missed the playoffs either, have I? No, I missed one. Yeah, so I guess I'm what would I call myself? The Spurs? No. Yeah, I have Spurs is fair. But yeah, being watched, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just, meandering, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so getting in, and you guys can see there's 2 teams in the 8th seed. I don't know exactly how they decided that tiebreaker. I wasn't there for that. I think the Auburn Blades are in. So the front 8 are in to the playoffs. But yeah, you see a lot less parity, at least in the middle. So a lot of teams, working that differential. You can see, just separated by, 2 teams tied for the last playoff spot, let alone, the Umbreon missing by 1 differential. The Zizli's down there only being at -2, but just missing by a win. It's very, very interesting. Even if he just wins 1 game, he's up into 8th. It was a crazy, crazy year. Even I started 0-3 and turned it around to get up to the 5th seed. So very interesting season for everyone, I think. A very fun season though. A lot of good coaches in this. You can see like the bottom 2 coaches are very good battlers. Like like you got Cav down there. Like he's one of the best battlers here. So it was a very and Parksy, choking on a. I think he was 5-1. I think Has said. I think that's what Has told me. He's 5-1 and he's net 4-6 and out of the playoffs. So very good coaches in this league. Very very high caliber 16. So to everyone who made the playoffs, congratulations. Like it's a big accomplishment in this league. Of a lot of good coaches. So we're gonna move on to the matchups. The West Coast Weavile versus the Auburn Blades, Helsinki High Jump Kicks versus the Powelltown P-Toads, the Los Angeles Lerviters versus the SL Benfinions and my boy JP. I don't know if you guys saw the last week's battle between me and JP, but it was wild. 100 turn battle with a special Zygarde and a Mega Audino if you want to see it. It was insane. And then, yeah, the big matchup, I think the grudge match of the London Arsenal versus the Peoria Pidgeots and me versus Has, which is very interesting, and I'll go into that a little bit more when I get to that battle, even though we're not even going to cover it because I don't. Anyway, doesn't matter. So we got the first matchup, the West Coast Weavile versus the Auburn Blades. We have Mega Glade, Weavile, Shaman Sky. Oh yeah, this is I forgot again. Oh, TCM versus who's Auburn Blades? See, these new coaches sometimes I just get them all jumbled up. I get them all jumbled together. Why can't I find the Auburn? Oh yeah, Soap. Duh. And I just get them all jumbled up. But anyway, so we have Glade, Weavile, Shaman Sky, Tapu Fini, Bronzong, Tentacruel, Chestnut, Salamence, Hippowdon, and Omastar versus Megalopony, Garchomp, Toxapex, Ferrothorn, Mandibuzz, Starmie, Comfey, Moltres, Raichu, Metagross, Furfurou, and Haunter. God, Furfurou. What a name. Anyway, so I think the Auburn Blades, this is a very good match. I like this matchup to take down the number 1 seed. I think they got a decent one. Megalopony does some work against the West Coast Weavile. What has he got? Chestnut? And, well, obviously Hippo's a thing because Hippo's a beast. But, yeah, I think 2 points. Megalopony and click buttons. Every time Megalopony's in, it can do some work. I know Hippo, if it comes max defense, it's gonna obviously tank. But I think Hippo has some. I wouldn't say it's a bad matchup. I just know some of the fat and some of the bulk on the blades, like Intoxipex and Ferrothorn, can wear down Hippo, and especially Ferrothorn. Unless Hippo attacks Fire Fang, which would be very interesting, because obviously he can Earthquake the Toxapex, but that'd be more of an offensive Hippowdon. So, because I don't know if a Fire Fang can deal with Ferrothorn too well, and then, even that you have Starmie, who could be like a defensive Starmie who can still take on Hippowdon. But my first point for the Blades, I just covered the second point, but is sit Comfey. My boy Comfey in this game, I think is very, very, very interesting. If you look at his team, you look at Salamence, Chestnut, you look at Weavile and Mega Glade, that priority Draining Kiss is very, very big in this game. especially late game when like Weavile is maybe a little whittled down by rocks or whatever spikes, T spikes, whatever the case may be. Even Gallade, it took a hit from Megalopony and killed with Zen, or I mean I don't know why you wouldn't Drain Punch, but whatever the case is, he's a little injured, gets hit by Mandibuzz or something, takes a Brave Bird and gets down to 20, whatever the case may be. Comfey can come in and Draining Kiss and take it all and get it in, come in with easy kills as long as like Bronzong, Tentacruel, things like that are gone. My boy Comfey can come in here and I think he can even like set up on like a Hippo, Calm Mind, whatever the case may be. I think it's a very interesting matchup for Comfey here, which is weird, Comfey coming in with a decent matchup, but I'd really like Comfey in this matchup. I think it's fun. I think he can come and put in the finest. I don't know if he'll listen to me, and obviously I'm not the best of preppers, but I really like Comfey in this matchup. So yeah, in the West Coast Weavile side, he needs to limit Lopunny. He can't let Hippo get too worn down. And I think if he decides that Chesnaught is his play to cover, which I don't think it will be, because Mandibuzz and Starmie are things. Obviously, it can handle Starmie, but it doesn't want to. And Toxapex as well is a thing in Garch. Anyway, so I don't think Chesnaught. Well, if he does bring Chesnaught, you got to watch out for that tech. I think Lopunny gets Acro. Correct. I think Lopunny gets Acrobatics. No, it doesn't get Acrobatics. What does it get? Aerial Ace? Does it not get a flying move? Oh, it gets Bounce. That's right. Yeah, so you got to watch out for that Bounce tech. Yeah, I was gonna say I knew it got a flying move, but yeah, so you gotta watch out for that Bounce tech possibly. Maybe just even a Fire Punch to catch Bronzong too, but I don't know. I think Hippo's gonna be his answer, which is I think it might build a little difficult for him if it does get worn down. And then my last point is Salamence. My boy Salamence on the low. I really like Salamence in this game. Setting up a D-Dance and then going to town. Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Tech of Flamethrower in there. It puts in the finest. You just gotta watch out for that Comfey, man. I'm telling you, Comfey the god. But I think I'm gonna take the Blades. I think I'm gonna take the Blades in this game. I'm gonna go with the upset. I really like Comfey in this matchup, but I mean he might over prep for Comfey now. Hearing my wonderful thoughts on the game, so we gotta watch that. But we're gonna move on to the next game, and we're gonna go off to the Helsinki High Jump Kicks and the Palatine Politoads. So Genesect, Infernape, Goodness gracious. Crobat, Suicune, Zygarde, 10%, Aromatisse, Celebi, Megateetar, Garbodor, Claydol, Cryogonal, Alolan Raichu, Verse, Protein Greninja, Tornadus, Therian, Mega Scizor, Amoonguss, Arcanine, Cloyster, Cresselia, Gardevoir, Crocodile, Minitrick, and Corsola. So this is, goodness, I'm so bad with names today. I just gotta look these up real quick. Give me a second, guys. So yeah, Jeremiah, obviously he's the Politoads. And the High Jump Kicks, I just looked that up like 2 seconds ago and I already forgot. Yeah, Stive, duh. So we have Stive versus Jeremiah here. I battled Jeremiah plenty of times. Very good battler. So we look at this matchup. So the first thing I got for the Palatine Politoads, just weaken Suicune. Once you weaken Suicune, things like Protein Gren can kind of take over. And we'll get into more of the Gardevoir side, but I think Gardevoir can take over too as well. Even like maybe a Cloyster sweep, because kind of Cloyster puts in the finest with that Suicune gone. Even with the Suicune there, it still puts in a little bit of work. But I think the main matchup I like in this game is if you look at Gardevoir, barring Genesect, you got to run HP Fire probably. But, Gardevoir puts in some work this game. Even if you just go Scarf Guard, if his Psychic switch-in is Megateetar, which obviously you can predict with the Moonblast, Claydol, I guess. But, yeah, his Psychic switch-in is Teetar, it looks like. Even if he wants to run Aromatisse too with a Mega Scizor there, that's fine. Or an Amoonguss there too as well. He's got some good fairy answers, so... yeah, I think Gardevoir is very interesting. Put him on guard duty. I'd really like Gardevoir in this matchup. So, but on the other side... I think Megateetar is the High Jump Kick's best. Is the best. Give me 1 second, guys. Again, We're back. My girlfriend making food. She's just stomping through the house. So we're gonna go back into it. So yeah, Mega T-Tar. I really like Mega T-Tar in this matchup. Even setting up a Dragon Dance. Just looking at his switch-ins, Mega T-Tar has so much coverage. Crunch being able to deal with Cresselia. Obviously his rock switch-ins aren't that good. What's his rock switch-in? Corsola and Crocodile? Yeah, that's his rock switch-in. I mean, Scizor is neutral. And obviously he can be defensive and, can pressure T-Tar, but T-Tar can just tech Flamethrower or Fire move, any Fire Punch, whatever the case is. I really, really like Mega T-Tar. You gotta watch out for Protean Grand low kicks. Wait, what is the ban on Protean Grand? Is it Gunk and low kick? Oh no, just no Z or Gunk. Okay, so yeah, it gets low kick. So yeah, you gotta watch out for that low kick. From Protean Grand, but I mean he has a Crobat, but yeah. Anyway, so I really like Mega T-Tar in this game. But the other point I think in this game is you got to limit Tornadus in its shuffling. Like it can get some U-turns off. It can pressure with Heat Wave and what's it called? The good old Hurricane and Superpower even for Mega T-Tar. I don't really see a good What's his Tornadus? And Z Tornadus too. So with it being Z Tornadus, if he thinks Aromatisse is the problem, he can just run Z Iron Tail. Very, very interesting. I didn't look. I mean, I looked at obviously I looked and went over things, but Torn T puts so much pressure on this matchup. He might even have to just. I mean, even his Cryogonal, because it can just get super powered. I mean, I guess Assault Vest Alolan Raichu. I don't know. Claydol. I guess Claydol is his best bet, but Claydol doesn't like Hurricanes, so I think Tornadus might be the most important Pokemon in this game. With that being said, as much as I like T-Tar in this matchup, I think I'm gonna take the Politoads. I think I'm gonna take Jeremor. Tornadus in this matchup is just insane. He might have to say Scarf Ape just to punch hard enough. Gosh, I'm looking. I don't see anything, guys. That's just a tough matchup. Very tough indeed. Very tough matchup for the high jump kicks with that Tornadus. Very tough draw too to get one of the Pokemon that just kind of demolishes and hurts. Really, I mean, I wouldn't say demolish but yeah, it's pretty much demolish. It really hurts his team. I think Aromatisse might have to come. I mean, Suicune obviously can do things, but you don't want Suicune just taking Hurricanes, And then is giving off free U-turns to get into say Specs Gardevoir or oh man, I guess yeah, he doesn't have a Suicune answer on the other side, does he? I guess even the Specs of Moon gets whoop. But yeah, I really liked. I'm gonna take the Politoads. So I think I've taken. Wait, I took 2 upsets, didn't I? Oh no, I took 2 upsets already. We're getting in here, boys. We're gonna move on to the next matchup. We have Jack, LeBron. LeBron James versus JP in the SL Infineon. See, I know these teams because I've been with these guys forever, so I know these guys. But yeah, so we have Tapu Lele, Zapdos, Hawlucha, Scolipede, Mega Aggron, Seismitoad, Decidueye, Alolan Persian, Snorlax, Druddigon, Pignite versus Victini, Naganadel, Tapu Bulu, Manaphy, Donphan, Fortress, Gastrodon, Magnezone, Volbeat, Drifblim, Mega Audino, and Hitmonlee. So I just battled this team last week in JP and the Infineons. That's a tough team to prep for because I expected, some very, very strong offense with Naganadel, Bulu, Manaphy, and I got Donphan, Fortress, Gastrodon, Magnezone, and Mega Audino, and Victini. But yeah, I got a lot of defense, and I was caught off guard, and I had to play a very different game. But looking at the matchup, he has to control the setup of Hawlucha and Scolipede. That's number one. And obviously even, Decidueye to an extent. He's got to control that setup. I think he can do that with the things that he has. Maybe run a red card here and there. Red card like Fortress for like Hawlucha maybe. Stuff like that. And also, I think Manaphy is huge in this game. His Manaphy switching is Aggron. Because obviously Seismitoad can switch in, but Energy Ball does exist. He can run Rindo, of course, but then does he kill back? Who knows? Even like Decidueye can catch an Ice Beam. But yeah, it's a very interesting game for Manaphy. to say the least. I think Manaphy has a good game. So if he can get rid of Aggron, say Victini, some of his other offense, Donphan, things like that, Gastrodon even Magnezone, being able to trap and put in some work. But obviously you don't want to trap and stay in. You want to trap and like say Volt Switch or try to get off as much damage as possible. But anyway, even Hitmonlee, shoot, he's got, if he takes care of Mega Aggron, I think Manaphy can do some things. But on Jack's side, Tapu Lele is just killer in this game. If he can get Lele in clean and Lele in right, he's gonna put in a lot of work. He's gonna punch a lot of holes. I mean, nobody has enough defense for Manaphy, so who knows with that. But yeah, then keeping Aggron alive, I think, is his second best bet. And knowing Jack, he's gonna be just fine in this matchup. Keeping Aggron alive and knowing what he needs to do in his win cons and stuff. But yeah, I think that's that battle, and we're gonna go into the last battle in 1 second. All right, so I will be taking Jack in this game. So I got, so far, if we want to recap, I got the Blades, I got the P-Toads, I got Jeremoy. Goodness gracious, I already forgot the Blades code. It's been a long day. Manly Soap, of course it's Soap, I know that. And then we got the Benfinians. I said I'm taking Jack. So we're taking the Larviters. In the last game, I don't have a slide for, because it is my game. It is Haz versus JJ. It is the grudge match of all grudge match. Not really. So I think he's beat me the past 2 times we played. Well, we don't get to play that often. But anyway, so me and him have been in the DGBA ever since the beginning. He's actually the first person I messaged. That wasn't the guy whom Krish. He wasn't Krish Epic. He wasn't he wasn't epic enough. He's the first guy I talked to in the league. He's actually become probably good friend. I would call him a good friend. He helps me build usually most weeks when I ask. I help him build when he asks. So we know each other pretty well. I mean, he probably knows me better than I know him because I ask a lot more because he's a lot better builder than I am. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting match. But yeah, I didn't put it in there because I don't want to, talk about what I think I need to bring or what he needs to bring. Because I don't need those mind games. He already plays enough with me. I don't need these mind games. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. I think that I couldn't ask for a better first round because it's a good test for me to overcome what he knows. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up. It was a great season, guys. A lot of fun. Let's have a good playoffs. Look at our games done on time. Let's not. Well, I'll probably wait till Sunday because I always do. I haven't built yet. I might do a little building tonight when I get done with this video. So but yeah, I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Haz, good luck to you, and all the coaches. Good luck to you guys. May the Hex gods be with you. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.